I'm doing a video with rollers in my hair, but sis, we talking about Cardi B and Offset. So it's okay if I'm a little bit ratchet. I really need to do another pop snark, but this is Cardi B and Offset mess, and it is way too much for one 2-minute discussion, or 2-minute segment. So I figured let's just go ahead and let's have a little key. Let's discuss, because we're all watching the train wreck we saw coming a mile away. No one is surprised right now. Hey guys, I'm Josie, and if you're new here, please subscribe, because whether you like it, love it, or don't agree at all, this is about encouraging a critical dialogue. So join in and comment along respectfully. So Cardi B and Offset going in the direction that we all knew they were going to go. It's as I say, it's a train wreck that we saw before the train even left the station. Like, we knew it was coming, but were we thinking about how many cheating ass, misogynistic, bad politics, famous black men would hop on the train with them? Like, I didn't know that was a station. Wow. It's like the fraternity of ain't shit men sci-fi coalesced around standing up for Offset, a man who is definitely losing a bag if his wife walks out on him. He wasn't thinking about that shit when he was searching for a woman to fly to New Orleans. Boy, that boy grammar. But he wasn't thinking about none of that when he was searching for some new pussy while Cardi was pregnant. You disrespectful behind. A question that has to be asked is, were we checking for Offset before Cardi? Like, where is Takeoff in all of this? Someone please, can someone please make sure that Takeoff is okay? Because I just want to see him happy with a broad of bug-eyed children, all from one mama. She'll probably be shaped like a bug too, but that's okay. Just protect Takeoff though, because he really the one with the bars. But back to Cardi and Offset. As it is, none of us are surprised that Offset was caught again, because it's not the first time, it's not the second time. Girl, have we lost count? But he was caught cheating again. And this time Cardi posted on Instagram that they were apart and referenced all the people asking her about the marriage. Then Offset commented, "Y'all won." Like, who's y'all? Who's us? What? Then he tweeted that he missed her. Then he posted an Instagram video saying all he wanted for his birthday was his wife back. Then he interrupted her rolling out headline performance by walking out on stage to apologize to the bruh being his wife. Woo!
Let's go! Hey. I just want to tell you I'm sorry, bro.
Intermixed into this is Cardi jumping on Instagram throughout all of this, continuously via live, to share more than she probably should. But at this point, I mean, we know this is who Cardi is, and we just have to kind of meet her where she's at, accept her for who she is. Honestly, truly, my first thought out of all of this is that Cardi is in a very vulnerable predicament, and I truly hope that she's a good therapist, because this is a lot for one person to go through, and for all the ways we can criticize the choices she makes and actions she takes. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us are living her life. So telling one of her stature to just ignore it or them, I mean, it oversimplifies vastly the quagmire of the world that she lives in, and what she is likely absorbing and how she is absorbing it, like via what vehicles, and how easy is it for her to disengage. And maybe the better reference to that is that it's not easy. It's probably very complicated for her to disengage. I know from experience that it is addictive to watch people spend all their day following you on every platform to talk ish about you, to turn everything you do into a negative, and to make outlandish claims that people take them at their word. Like, people on the internet will say things without never knowing you, never meeting you in life, make a statement as if they know it's fact, and someone will just take their word for it. And it's just like watching something become a thing and manifest the bubble over. Especially when it's negative, it's addictive to watch it. For sure, Cardi absolutely needs to log off the internet. She needs to work on a better balance between being who she is and having some privacy, or more privacy, or real privacy. Girl, she just can't keep up with giving all that she has. Not only is she famous, but she is also a mother, and there's just different things to consider now, and she has much more to lose. But I understand why she has had such a hard time logging off, especially because, well, one, there's the loneliness of being a celebrity and looking for attention and wanting that sort of attention, because it's cool to just be able to log on to Instagram Live and be able to have a sounding board and actually people respond. Because a lot of times, plenty of us go through life in frustrations where we just want someone to acknowledge that we're frustrated and acknowledge that we're validated in our feelings. And so it is really easy to turn to social media, especially when you have an automatic following that will validate that frustration for you. And then on the other hand, because part of her logging off and ignoring would also be either cutting off friends and family or at least getting them to also ignore and if not log off with her. And it's just a lot of work either way you look at it. So now Cardi's in this position with Offset where she shares management, and I want to say a production team, because I believe before she signed to Atlantic, she more than likely, I know she signed a production deal, then a 360 with Atlantic, then Offset, Coach K, and quality control management got her to get out of her previous management contract, which she's getting sued over, and they also manage Offset. I'm sure a few of the part of the teams that they use also work with Migos. It makes sense. It's kind of, there's a lot of crossover. This industry is only but so big, and they are just entangled in a situation where it's mostly black men who are their business partners, and these same men don't have the best track records with being monogamous themselves. And because she keeps sharing, she keeps putting herself out there, she's also put in a predicament where, based on how much she gives and based off the fact that, you know, what Offset has done, she has to now defend a man who's deeply hurt her. Her team is split down the middle and likely think it's best for them to be together, because it doesn't take emotional maturity to make it in the music business. Like, these people are probably really good business people, and I promise you, their emotional bandwidth, sis, do you have a therapist, Cardi? Please, sis, I really, for your own sake, I want her to get a good therapist. And it's just like all around a situation where she cannot check out from. This is why I keep asking about the therapist, because where is her reprieve? Where is her honest outlet? To address Offset, he absolutely is manipulative. I don't care if Cardi sees it that way or not, but his behavior is toxic. And if you cared in the first place, if he cared in the first place, he would have never gone looking binoculars on to go cheat. And his stepfather posting that long ass message in the First Fan Facebook group. Besides, that was just such a bad mistake. Besides that being dumb, because groups like that are large, even if they are hidden or private, like there's no way to know who's actually in the group. His daddy saying that there's drugs involved. I absolutely believe that part. I don't know, that doesn't undo what's been done. It also doesn't make Offset look any better. It doesn't, like, you know, Offset's behavior is like, I'm sure plenty of us watched that, him bombarding her on stage, and saw like the beginnings of like an abusive relationship. Like that is what, and not to say that Offset is necessarily abusive, but that is the trajectory of where actions like that go. Men who show up at your job, who know they've done horribly wrong, and like doing this sort of like shallow sort of apology charades, when honestly the truth of an apology is, because an apology is a very selfish act, people just honestly apologizing to make themselves feel better about their mistake, but it's the work you do to improve your behavior, not just the words you give. But we gotta readdress this fraternity of the ancient men sci-fi, because I never thought that toxic masculinity could come together so quickly and then show its hand so apparently, that we expect women of color to just absorb so much trauma, and as we watch Cardi go through it, we just shrug it off, because it's like, well, you know, to be honest, even she's shrugging it off, because society tells her it's no big deal, get over it, just work on yourself. You know, it don't ever tell the man to work on himself, but it's surely telling the woman to work on herself. For all that, imagine if the tables were turned. You imagine the sort of slander that would be thrown at Cardi, and Offset would be standing clean with his ancient fraternity behind him like this. No matter her actions, Cardi as the woman takes the brunt of this. She's gonna absorb the most hurt and pain in the situation. And Cardi, no matter the way it goes, still is forced to be the bigger person. She has to make the decision that Offset is too immature to handle. You know, Cardi has to think about their child, while Offset suddenly remembers his other kids and starts to charade them around with bad grammar Instagram posts, posting silly ass daddy daycare videos that easily awash his image anew. So the comparisons to Beyonce and Jay-Z are short-sighted at best. The Carters, first of all, the Carters are winning at capitalism like no other black couple, and maybe the Smiths, they're like running like a close second with that red table talk. But here's my real spicy take. Beyonce and Jay-Z packaged their emotional turmoil, which is the reference to capitalism, because they sold us on it, made a lot of money, selling their turmoil for sale, put it up for sale after they went through it. We didn't watch Beyonce make a decision on her marriage in real time. Actually, we never watched Beyonce make any decision on her marriage. We just got really nice stills reminiscent of Oshun, decked out in yellow. You know, plenty of one-liners for our Instagram captions. Shout out to War Sign. But we have no clue, none, what Beyonce actually went through. The most we have are sound bites of Jay-Z acknowledging he abandoned their relationship at one point and didn't give his wife what she deserved. Now, abandonment in marriage does not simply revolve around the marriage bed. Emotional abandonment is absolutely a thing. Hypothetically speaking, we don't know if Jay-Z was too into his business or his friendships, if the other woman is symbolic of how work and people can come into your home and consume your partner. There's so many ways that this could go, and yes, it could be just as hurtful, just as painful, just as traumatic, just as much of a mess as if your spouse was cheating, physically cheating on you with another person. There's just so many ways that this can go that don't simply boil down to dicks and vaginas, and it's not the same. And just because Beyonce got through it and Jay-Z at 47 finally realized the value of the hardest working human being in the universe, like, it took this nigga 13 years to figure out, like, damn, what Beyonce's how high her worth was? I'm gonna be single forever. Y'all really think that Offset at 25 can grasp the wrongness of searching for no liens behind offering platitudes and Instagram clips? There is absolutely nothing besides wealth that makes Cardi B and Offset's relationship look pretty. The money is pretty. The emotional trauma the woman consumes is absolutely, I'm good on that. And I wish we could stop seeing this as normal or ideal. I wish we, and I mean, we ain't really black women. I wish we was black men. And I mean, the point has been made by plenty of other people that black men can sit around and talk about cheating and the likelihood of their homeboys telling them, nah, bro, you shouldn't be doing that, or correcting them. Like, black men have horrible friendships. I think that's another video for another day. But really, y'all all need a black woman in y'all lives to save you. Because your homeboys don't correct you. Your homeboys don't help you get on the straight and narrow. Your homeboys stand behind you clearly in your fuck shit. I mean, there's no nicer way to call it. It just is what it is, and it's nasty. And at this point, we all know Cardi probably gonna get back with Offset because whatever, sis. She human, she has her own agency. I ain't gonna judge you, and the daughter beautiful, culture cute. But whew, the mess that we've all seen around it, I just really don't want society to take this as some sort of norm or a socially acceptable standard, because it's not, and every woman deserves better than this.